What's better, self-help books or fiction? If the goal is to make your life better, you might think, hey, self-help, that's for helping yourself. Fiction, that's just for having fun. Self-help has to be better. I was just arguing about this with my friend, and that was their opinion. Let me tell you something. In my opinion, fiction is way better than books that are explicitly trying to be self-help. I used to be a self-help junkie. I was one of those guys, I was reading the Tim Ferriss, the Mark Manson, the David Allen getting things done, the, this and that and the other thing. I don't even want to list them all now. It makes me start cringing when I think about it. The Stephen Covey, 7 Effective Habits of People, all that stuff. And there is some really good advice in there. It's not that it's useless, but when you read that stuff and you aren't like doing all the things, you're just reading book after book, it's that weird thing of using self-help as like a form of entertainment. Instead of actually doing all these things, you're kind of just consuming a lot of content about it. That's, I think, really common. Self-help's good, but you only need like one self-help book a year if you're actually going to follow through. And otherwise, you're just kind of reading, right? But with fiction, I feel like storytelling is a lot better than advice when it comes to helping people and getting ideas across. Advice is good for individuals. You're talking to one friend and you're like, hey friend, here's what you should do. But if you're going to talk to a group, or if you're going to share your ideas to the world, or receive someone else's ideas that they've shared to the world, stories are much better, because like, if you haven't met someone, how can you give them advice, right? But with a story, you can get across principles, lessons, ideas. And I really want to bring this home. So I have 4 examples here. So first, classic, Infinite Jest, love it or hate it. I think this book clearly is more insightful about the role of technology and media and entertainment in our lives, the way that digital entertainment is changing society, changing our brains potentially for the worse. I think this is more profound, and he died, 10, 15 years ago, and it's still, this is more profound, more relevant to the current moment than anything any tech business founder has ever said. Don't mind me adjusting my camera here. Next, The Brothers Karamazov, ultimate classic. I'm actually still got this last bit to read, so I'm in the trial right now. Just so much insight on how people relate to each other, the ways in which we love each other and the way in which that love can be challenging, dealing with family when you don't agree, dealing with hardship, Alexei's religious journey and his attempt to follow God while also dealing with these very difficult family drama situations. It's a beautiful book, and it has so much more to say about dealing with family and loving family and friends when they do bad things. There is so much more in this book for me than in any self-help book I've ever read. It's a true classic. Next up, more obscure, Diaspora by Greg Egan, not sure how to pronounce that, sorry. I read this book forever ago. I want to reread it. It's all about the singularity. It's a sci-fi book that happens after the singularity, and it's like the most interesting take on the singularity, and it got me thinking about singularity much more interestingly than anything from Kurzweil or anyone else. Of course, Kurzweil coined the term, I know. But still, like this to me, this fiction book was a more interesting way of exploring that, and more useful for me, I think, than any podcast or discussion among technical founders who are working towards a singularity. I don't really care. I needed an author to tell a story to really connect with me on it. And then lastly, very popular, but no one I know ever seems to have heard of it. I don't know, where are the fans? Where are you guys? Fonda Lee's Jade War, the second book in the trilogy. Haven't read the final book yet. I'm looking forward to it. But this book does a really good job of telling a story about the relationship between power and strength and sacrifice. To what extent are you willing to risk your well-being or the well-being of the people around you for the sake of defending your family, of doing what must be done, for the name of responsibility or even honor? There's so much in there about like how far should you push yourself and when do you hold back, and it's great because in this book the gemstone jade both gives powers but also functions as an addictive drug that drives people crazy, and so how much jade should you wear and is all that. Just 4 examples. Because I was talking with my friend just before I recorded this, and they're like, nah, bruh, self-help's way better than fiction for, like, learning about life. I think a lot of philosophers would agree with me on this. It's a cold take in philosophy that you learn more from fiction about helping yourself than you do from books that are about self-help. The real truth is both are useful. I just think self-help is useful in small doses, whereas fiction is endless. You never stop learning. So give it a shot. If you're reading too many self-help books and it's not working anymore, read some fiction. Maybe don't start with books like this that are big and difficult. Maybe start with books, more like this that are a little smaller, a little bit more chill. Find something, like if you aren't reading too much, go ahead. Read some Dungeon Crawler Carl. Become an annoying DCC fan. It's fine. Whatever you got to do. Get Brandon Sanderson, or if you're not into fantasy fiction, find whatever it is you like. But give it a try. That's all I got for today. Matt signing out.